All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Captain's Draft for North American Qualifiers, of course, to get to the minor in Washington, D.C. later on this year. Thank you so much for joining us here today. It is my pleasure to be bringing you this cast as we are up into Game 2. My name is Mont. With me today is absolutely no one. For now. That may change after this game. But you got me for this game. Just me alone. And I really appreciate you coming out today and coming to watch us. I know there's a lot of Dota to be had. I know there's a lot on your plates in terms of what to watch. I know there's a lot of talk about Dota 7.07b, the new patch just coming out. Of course, the main patch followed up by that little small update that came in just a couple of, maybe yesterday, I think is what it was, actually. It doesn't feel like yesterday, but it was yesterday. A lot of small changes coming in, mostly to Anti-Mage was the big one. Just kind of getting nerfed, essentially. A couple of changes in that regard. Beastmaster as well. Morphling getting buffed a little bit because he was having a rough time. Tiny getting changed. So, lots of little things. But in terms of what it means in this type of game, VGJ.Storm had a great first game. They came back after a really rough early game. In fact, it was one of the rougher early games. And when you have that Venge, you essentially think, okay, well, we have a certain timing window we need to hit. We have the Vengeance Ore really strong right now. We want to take down towers. We want to take fights. But they were able to carry that timing window through like the 20 to 30 minute mark and make sure they can get their farm on Ryoya, a.k.a. 747, who was on the Outworld Devour and was able to do a great job. But this is a very interesting draft. I was talking about it before the draft even started, but there's a lot of really cool heroes here. Some of them banned out. Most of the cheesy ones have been banned out. The Broodmother, for example, Pudge, kind of cheesy. Sniper, most of them banned out by VGJ.Storm. And then the good heroes, just generally good heroes, banned out by Complexity the Undying, which we've seen a lot of, played by VG Gaming, and of course in the Dota Pit Minor. The Vengeful Spirit getting banned out, the Queen of Pain getting banned out, which they played in the last game. But VGJ.Storm will pick up the Razor for themselves here. A pretty strong hero. I like the change to Unstable Current. Just the 100 damage zap. It's a very good value point. Trent and I talked about that a lot in terms of what changed for the Razor. The value point, obviously, very good. So that's something to keep in mind. VGJ.Storm this time will pick up the Rubik and the Naga. So now you have to wonder, is this going to be a 4-position Naga? Where's Naga even played anymore? Was it even picked at the Dota Pit Minor? I can't remember. So I'll look it up while I have a moment. But it is a double elimination bracket, by the way. So this is, even if Complexity were to lose, which would honestly be pretty surprising, VGJ.Storm beating Complexity 2-0, at least surprising for me, Complexity would still have a chance to go through. They would have to play up against Optic and Immortals. Optic, who just qualified for the Aces ROG LAN. Immortals, who just lost and got last place at Dota Pit, tied with last place, I think. Anyways, I guess I'll look up the Naga stat later. I'm not 100% sure. If only I had a stat man. Actually, I can do it now. In the meantime, though, Batrider and Daz will be picked up for Complexity Gaming. Batrider probably a better initiator than what they had last game in terms of the Viper for Moo in the off lane. I think if they just picked something that was more something along the lines of like a Magnus or something, they would have been fine. I really like the Dazzle pick as well against something like a Razor. I think it's very strong. So very happy with how that went. All right, let's see. Dota Pit, Split Minor, Heroes. Let's do the Control F. Naga. She was unpicked, apparently. I'm not sure. The Dota buff wasn't working when I was trying to search it, but I think it should be working now. I think this is accurate. Wow, all of these heroes weren't picked. Abaddon, Arc Warden, Bristle, Clinks. Really? I'm not even sure if that's true. I know like Ember and Meepo and like Huskar weren't picked, but some of these are just like really weird. Anyway, so this is the first Naga game I'm going to see on this new patch. I think it was just her talents got changed. The Omni will come in. We saw that a fair bit. KP picked it up a few times, I think, for a newbie. And I liked it a lot. Spirit Vessel makes things also better for him, or worse, depending on what side you're playing on. We could see a Spirit Vessel. Honestly, it's one of my favorite items in all of Dota right now. But it might not be that good. I think a lot of the teams are still trying to figure out these items, like Meteor Hammer we just saw in the last game. Things of that nature. So I don't know. Brax is silent today. Yes, Brax is he's sitting next to me actually. You just can't hear him. I put some duct tape over his mouth. What's that, Brax? What? Last game we We had Cameron joining me this game. We have Brax silently joining me. You could tell I'm losing it, right? You could tell I'm slowly going insane based off of how this cast is going. I'm sure you can. But that's fine. You know what? Sometimes you gotta just go crazy. Ooh, they picked the Tide Hunter. So is this a mid-Bat Rider, perhaps? Or is it a mid-Tide? Let's see what Limp picks. Chessie's the Jug. That makes a whole lot of sense. On the other side for VGJ.Storm, it's pretty stock standard. The only question was the Naga Siren, but when the Omni and Slark came out, then we began to realize, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. So Razor, Naga, Rubik, perhaps they could do an aggressive tri-lane. I like Naga because it kind of pairs well with the Razor with the Ensnare. I think is strong in that regard. I think Rubik was really good last game. I think it's good this game. I think Rubik's really strong right now with the changes to his null field. I like it a lot. I just want to make sure we didn't have some kind of crazy remake or something like that. But anyway, get into that game. I think I can update this caster image now. Let me try. Hold on a second. Like I said, camera's not here. Sorry, guys. You only got me. No base kit for you. Ooh, nice it is. Thank you, Nikki. Much appreciated. Boom, there it is. Just me. Changed. Easy. The wonders of syncing your files through like Dropbox or Drive. It's great. Well, it should be a good one, guys. So, again, Complexity, they had a fantastic start in Game 1, and things kind of just spiraled out of control a little thereafter. So, we'll see what they can do here in Game number 2. They are on the Dire this time. We'll switch sides for now. It's essentially, potentially halftime, if you want to think of it that way. Moo is going to be playing the Tide Hunter, so that means it's going to be the mid-Bat Rider. He starts off with a Null Tally and 2 Shared Tangos and a Clarity, so... Moo apologizing really quick. Oh, no. Limp got the no TP bug. That's rough, man. Snaking didn't either. All right, well, we'll probably remake, I would assume. Let me make sure Nikki's here. Has to be all pick. Well, I hope it works. It does have to be all pick. That's true. We've never really encountered this situation before. I'll just put the AFK screen on while I reconnect too. Sorry about that, guys, but nothing we can do about it. I don't know why that happens. It's so weird. If anybody can figure out why that bug happens or if it's just random, I would be very interested to know. All right. We in there. We in that lobby. I guess we'll just sit on the screen for now. There's no reason not to. Somebody got hyped for mid-tide. Sorry to tell you, Rink Curry. It's not the case. We're making the whole thing an all pick. So this is, I think, the first time this issue has happened in this particular, in this season of Captain's Draft. It might have happened at another time, but I'm not sure. Well, guys, you're making this really easy. I appreciate all the kind words you've been throwing out in chat. When it really comes down to it, who needs sleep anyway? I didn't need sleep to do the major, apparently, so, or the minor, excuse me. Most of that was done on like 4 hours less of sleep or not, but I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, honestly. Throw out the dumbass, the dumbass, excuse me. Exclamation point dumbass in Twitch chat. Just throw that shit out there. Oh, there's a bit. I'm not looking at chat at all, but there is some words being said, I'm sure. You can hear the beeps in the background or the boops. AP, yes, we all pick or we cannot pick the same heroes. Yes, LOL, have to all pick. It's on. You got to change it to all pick. Captain's Draft still. I will. Okay, just making sure people find the lobby. Nice. All right, then. Nikki's got it under control. I sent a whisper. Oh, nice. Thanks. To me or to somebody else? Or to my Moonduck account, or to... Because I don't see it. I'm on Moonduck right now. Well, whatever. I'm sure it's fine. Well, anyway. Complexity planted a ward in base at tier 3. Well, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, that it doesn't really matter, honestly. As soon as that pause happens... Oh, did they really? Is that what happened? I'm sure he didn't have a TP, right? Then that was just the reason. I think there... I don't know. Maybe there was some... Maybe this is all a conspiracy. And Complexity just wanted a remake because they placed a ward wrong. How funny would that be? But if it's on Limp, then it's important because you saw last game, but like he TP'd to the wave. So I guess we'll just go into the game for now. Ooh, this is lagging. You can tell that. Look at this. This thing is not made for all pick. You can. This is like probably super buggy. Ah, yes, I love this draft. It's great. Let's make sure everybody gets the right hero. Okay, almost there. All right. Hey, we did it! All right. Good work, everybody. I like how it also gets into the game immediately. We might have strategy time. I'm not sure. I've never seen all pick recently in a competitive game, so. Nope, we're in. All right, let's see if everybody got a TP scroll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we're in. And it doesn't look like Complexity are going to place a ward in their own base this time around, so good news there. I love these teams. Don't think we got any. Oh, that's right. Well, anyway. A lot of wards placed down here. Both teams going on a warding mission for now. A couple of wards dropped inside. I mean, they're pretty much mirroring each other, I guess. And no, this one's more towards mid. They're not mirroring each other, but there are some good vision. Some good vision in both of the enemy jungles, so... It looks like we're just going to see this classic. You just sit here and get both of your runes on bottom and top side of the map, so that's fine. Snaking will come mid. I think he's moving towards bottom. This was the same move Moo made earlier. Flea's just trying to get some vision. They're going to TP into the mid lane here for the Slark, interestingly enough. UR is going to be in the mid lane for now. Kyle will see him. They have a ward here, so they can immediately change this matchup, and you can already see it. Limp's just TPing out. That is a great ward for this exact reason. He immediately just moves towards top just to make sure he just doesn't deal with that stupid Slark matchup, who gets dark packed off of all the sticky napalm stacks. So they're going to see moves here, and yours like, all right, well, that's great. He doesn't have a Quelling Blade. He gets Anchor Smash, and all of a sudden he doesn't do any damage. Rolling Boulder mid. Sand King in trouble. Poison and Touch coming out, but Sand King should fall here. It's first blood for Kyle. Coming in. 3 heroes rotated just for that kill alone. Moo will take a lot of damage, but he's going to stop. He's fine. Just like that. It was a tri-lane mid for a moment there, but you know what? I'm sure it's fine. Elsewhere, it's Chessie versus Snaking, and Chessie is getting wrecked. They're both doing a lot of damage to each other, but Purification is going to be the X factor perhaps for Snaking. Maybe it gets easier for the Juggle later on down the road with Healing Ward and Spin, but for now, it's kind of rough. Top lane should be fine for Ryoya for 747. He has Static Link. Once he gets boots, things get a lot easier against Limp. He has a wand already. He's a Windlace, so Limp should do fine in getting CS, probably, but eventually he'll start getting chased down by Static Link. But this is the mid matchup. You are still doing pretty well. He has 5 last hits despite being against Moo. Moon now has Anchor Smash, though. And Yuar is just walking top. They're literally just switching lanes, I think. They're just going to walk away and just try to get the lane matchup they want, which is Yuar. That's kind of unfortunate. He already used his TP, so he can't use it to get up top. It's going to take some time. He'll miss out on pretty much a full wave of experience. And Moo's, I think, doing the same thing. He has a TP, but he's just going to walk instead. Trying to cliff him. Stand King, good attempt, but not quite close enough. Snake King, now they've got Kyle down bottom, so Chessie will have a lot better of a time here in this matchup. He's got the Shadow Wave to help him. So we'll kind of slow things down a little bit. In terms of the movement, you are just TP. Wow, he literally walked top to TP back mid. This is some musical lane shenanigans if I've ever seen it. It's actually insane. And he's not missing that much. Meanwhile, Rolling Boulder. Ooh, Z-Freak gets the double bounty rune. What a classic. On the other side, Static Link. Ryoyu is going to whip Moon to shape. Steals 52 damage, which is pretty nice. 10 last hits in the meantime for the Slark. Omni takes a fair bit of damage. I think it was the Shadow Wave that came through. Kyle did a lot of it. He also has Poison Touch skilled. Snake King needs to be a little careful. Should be fine. He's a Mango. Should never really be out of mana. As long as he doesn't walk too far up, he shouldn't get purified to death. So a strange start in terms of laning and location. A lot of movement. Only one kill. Gush will come in. That will keep Moo only losing 45 damage. It's still a fair bit, but could have lost a bit more. Did they TP somebody out again? They TP'd Moo, or rather Limp to mid. Or Moo, actually, I think just came. Excuse me. So again, Pounce is going to come out. They've got the leap. No Dark Pact. I think he only has... No, he does actually have it. But he didn't use the Q. Wouldn't have been enough damage. Level 1 Dark Pact doesn't do that much. The amount of lane movement is ridiculous. It's actually insane. Like, bottom lane, everybody's just like, oh yeah, we're farming, we're having a great time. We're really getting to know each other, you know? Me and the Omni and Jug are really starting to hang out. Honestly, these heroes can't wait to get away from each other, both mid and top. It's kind of insane in that regard. The only constant really has been Stand King. He's just been sitting mid. He actually is level 3, so he's leached a fair bit of experience. They TP'd somebody in. I think it was Z-Freak, or they might have TP'd Limp out. I didn't quite catch it. 33 hours of fatigue will do that to you. And Kyle will go 1v1 against Snake King in a battle he will lose, at least for now, although Z-Freak is coming to help out. Chessie thought about moving over, but it's just, it serves him better to farm for now. I don't think they can get the kill on the Omni as it stands. Complexity off to a decent start, not quite as good as the last game, but we know how that ended. Something to consider. Ryoyu is going to take Limp for a walk, but Limp's going to take his bat for a walk as he gets ensnared. Could be a problem. Oh, you've got to be kidding. The one moment that I'm watching action elsewhere, they kill Snake King bottom. Oops. GG. Well, that's pretty good. Good kill. Chessie's got a lot of farm. Things are going pretty well for him bottom. Only 9 last hits for Snake King. Makes a lot of sense. Chessie's doing a pretty good job of denying. He's got Blade Fury to help out. The good news is Snake King, despite dying, he's getting a lot of experience out of this. Probably a lot of CS too. Getting a full wave. Almost every last hit that was really well done. Although, I mean, it's not that hard for an Omni to last hit under tower. You already have a lot of base damage, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, good stuff for Snake King there. Get full wave experience mid lane now. Tidehunter's getting jumped in on. Z-Freak, good geomagnetic grip coming in. And a boulder smash onto 3, but Moose still might get chased down. Yuar, one more Essence Shift proc. They have the ensnare coming in, and that should get the kill, and Yuar will get the job done. Treads are up, the Quelling Blade and Wand. So now Yuar starting to get into a rhythm. 28 last hits. +1 4 kill. Good stuff there. And VGJ.Storm, remember, they have this 1-0 advantage. Really good first game for them. Honestly surprising how they came back in. Blade Fury, Snake King will immediately pop the repel. Takes no damage. Chessie will only do auto attacks along with Kyle. They have Shadow Wave, but Purification is up. But Snake King can't really kill them because they have this healing ward. That's the issue. That and Shadow Wave at level 2 makes it very tough. Although Snake King, he does have enough for another Purification. He needs to be careful. Only has level 1 Degen aura though, so kind of hard to chase him down. In fact, Kyle doing a great job of just pushing Snake King out of this lane. Meanwhile, top lane, Rolling Boulder coming in. Ryoyu is going to get caught. Static Link not available. He's already dead in the dirt. And Z-Freak, well, they'll give the kill to UR as he gets some Essence Stiff stacks going his way. Limp's getting chased down. They have it under the snare in 1 second. They're going to get off in time. Should be long enough to get the kill. In fact, it will be. No. Great wand charge with the flame break. And we'll see how far you are goes. He's already in deep. He's got wand charges. No shadow dance. He'll pounce himself away. Limp's trying to chase him down. There's the rolling boulder from Z-Freak, and UR needs to run at this point. He's got 17 wand charges. Good silence coming in. The boulder smash now hitting onto 2 perfectly. Kyle chasing him down. They might turn onto Flea instead, who is going to get dropped. He has 9 wand charges himself. Flame break, push back, and Flea will fall. Nicely done. Somehow Limp surviving. In the meantime, Chessie will get bottom. Solo, it looks like, with Omni Slash. Don't think Snaking was particularly ready for that. So Complexity doing real well. Kyle, though, out of mana at this point. Dark Pact should do enough damage, and it will. Z-Freak comes in too little too late. Boulder Smash, had it been there, might have saved the life of the Dazzle, but unfortunately just not there in time. Woo! 1K advantage for Complexity now. What a weird game. So what are we waiting on in terms of, like, real actual engagements? Obviously, the big one would be Bat Rider Blink, but it's so early in the game with so much movement that we're not going to see these big items for a while. Honestly, like, the first big items are going to come out from Chessie and the Slark, so it's just going to be a lot of lane movement. Snake King might have to GA. He will. Guardian Angel will come out. He has no Repel. Purification down for 3, but he does have the Soul Ring to get enough mana for it. Telekinesis Snake King. He could just heal himself, but he might just go back home instead. The trip might be easier. Nah, he purified himself. I don't know if you want to stay here. This is a bit dangerous. Omni's back up in 50 seconds, so it's a little while. So Tide, they switch lanes again. Tide will go back top. This is the most lane switching I think I've ever seen. I wish I could count how much it was. Z-Freak will get caught. I want to say, but I actually don't even want to guess. I would say more than like 3 times per mid laner. I think that's the amount. Probably more, actually. Somebody can go back and count it for me. I'll give you, like, I don't know, a Twitter high five or something. Bottom lane, snaking. Ooh, Courier. Oh. Trying to chase it down. They just don't have the vision. Good try from Complexity. Snaking is still pretty out in the open. Omni Slash coming in, and he can't get the purification off. Chessie's able to just Omni him down. And the creeps weren't there, so obviously very good. Kyle going to get snared up. They probably get this kill. Telekinesis. Did he even have the grave? No, it wouldn't have mattered if he did. Chessie taking a lot of damage from the tower in the meantime. It's still a 1-for-1 trade, but obviously with Chessie getting it, probably better for Complexity at this point. Ryoya, level 7. Phase Boots, Windlace. Behind Limp right now. It's crazy how this game is going. Moo working on a buckler, so it looks like he's going mech, which makes sense. Trent was talking about this at the minor. You just don't really want to have to build into Blink Dagger first item. You want to be the guy that's up in front. You want to be able to force out Ravage, and you want to make the other team fight into an uncomfortable position. The best way to do that is have like mech and other items along those lines. Flea on the other side, speaking of the Tide Hunter, is going to get chased down. Gush was used already. There's that Ravage coming in, hits onto 2, but that's it for now. Boulder Smash going on 1. Flea, he's getting to the Shrine. They might not have enough damage here, and it looks like he will be able to get away. Blade Fury, but the Static Link is going. That's a good Flame Break coming in. Purification. Snaking is now in the fight. And Chessie, he's going to have to Healing Ward, but it's not going to keep him alive. I think he actually died to the Unstable Current. It literally just came up, and Kyle's going to be next. No grave. I don't think he's holding a point either. Repel now on 1 as well. Ryoya, that's down. Lip's going to Firefly away. Good telekinesis coming in from Stan King. They're looking for more. Boulder Smash, Rolling Boulder. The Purification, and now Stan King's going to survive. And Z-Freak, he might be the one that gets dropped. He will get away. Dark Pact's not enough damage. In fact, it didn't even get off in time. It's Snare. The Static Link coming in, but Ryoya won't chase as the Healing Ward went with him the entire way. Moo comes back and doesn't have Ravage, and 73 damage they have to deal with here on this Razor, which is very dangerous. So, VGJ.Storm, they get a huge fight there. 2 kills, 670 gold total, a lot of which go to the Razor and the Slark. A pretty great fight. The only way it could have gone better is if they get Limp there at the end, but again, very close stuff. I like it. I will say, in terms of what we talked about last game, I really harped on the fact that the initiation for VGJ.Storm in Game 1 was so much better than Complexity in Game 2. It kind of feels like the roles are reversed because you have a Tide and a Bat Rider for Complexity. You only really have a Rubik and like a Naga for initiation otherwise. They will find Kyle in the mid lane. He gets dropped on the Dazzle. I suppose Slark, when he gets Shadowblade, can sort of form up as his own sense of initiation, but... And I don't know if it's as big of a deal as in last game was, but once you got those Blink Daggers on the Slaughter and the Centaur for VGJ.Storm in Game 1, that's really when they won the game. Ryoya bottom lane, he's going to get Rolling Bouldered on, Geomagnetic Gripped, and Magnetized along with it, but still, even with all those magnetic abilities, it won't be enough to stop him and drop him down. So, he will continue on to farm, now working on Iyasha, perhaps into something like an SNY. I can't wait until SY and K comes out. Kaya actually is like picked up as an item. Because nobody's going to buy it now. Ooh, good Shadow Amulet play from UR. He's going to see Chessie's here. They're going to wait. I think he's going to wait until they run away and then he'll go for a TP or something. And it's actually making a lot of room for VG Gaming down to the bottom lane to push into this tower. And it looks like they're going to do just that at this point. Although backstep potentially from Z-Freak. He's got Rolling Boulder. No Magnetize though. It was just used. Ravage is back up. Something to consider. But they also have GA. Good Plasma Field Static Link coming out. There's the Telekinesis. Spell was stolen. That's Anchor Smash. Boulder Smash coming in. Ravage will hit onto just about everybody. In fact, it does. 4 hit on that Ravage. They're going to lose tanking here in a moment. Moo's going to be able to stick up and survive. And Ryoya, he's going to get last so they can't even get the kill. GA's coming up with the Fireflies doing some work. Moo will get dropped finally. Chessie, does he have Omni? He sure does. Song coming in. Purification coming out. They need to run. That Song might be enough to keep them away. Oh, that could have been a huge turnaround for Complexity had the Song of the Siren not been there. So the Naga Siren coming out, now down for 150 seconds, but Flea with the perfect timing. They will only lose the Rubik, and they get a 2-for-1 trade out of it. So that could have been so much worse for VG Gaming Storm there. And the Slark continues to have a pretty, I don't want to say dominant lead, but he's doing really well. He's only a little bit ahead of the Jug, but everybody else kind of falling behind the wayside. Shadowblade is up. He even has the Int Treads. I'm sure he'll swap, one would assume. UR is a pretty good player. I'm just thinking he would do that. Now, yeah, he did. Perfect timing. And can't even get the Grave off for the Dazzle. And Kyle's kind of been limited in this game in terms of what he can accomplish on this hero, the Shadow Priest. Which makes sense. It's kind of a rough game for him. Slark is really good at dealing with these types of heroes that they have these big abilities, but they're really squishy, a little bit slow too. They can kind of get run down. Slark's pretty much great at destroying them, especially if you have somebody else to combo up in terms of getting a disable off or even more burst damage. But again, he's a Dazzle. It's not the worst thing in the world. He only has 6 deaths. Jesus, I thought it was... Wow. He has 6 of his 11's... His team's 11 deaths. That's a lot. I didn't know it was that much. Okay, well, I spoke too soon. But again, he is a Dazzle. Haste Rune, they're going to find the jump in. They've got the Pounce. The Dark Pack will come in. Snake King, he already used the Purification. Moves very tanky with the Buckler, though. I mean, especially once it pops the active. Has level 3 Kraken Shell, level 4 Anchor Smash, which is really good against the Slark. Until he gets some Essence Shift procs going. Not procs, rather stacks, I would say, is probably a better term to use. Echo Saber will be his next choice. Adding a bit more control for UR. Making things easier, getting a bit tankiness along with it. Flea is sitting on Arcanes in 1300. I wonder if he transitions into the Radiance. Meanwhile, mid lane, Moo. Got Telekinesis, but they're going to turn this around. Snake King. Repel will come in. The Geomagnetic Grip is not there in time, and now Ryoya is looking for more. Good Boulder Smash, though, onto 2. The 4 staff was up for Ryoya. He might have used it had that Boulder Smash not come out. But for now, that won't be the case. And Complexity will trade 1-for-1 in terms of towers. Chessie will take the last hit bottom, and top will be taken down by UR. Lots of heroes setting up mid. Ravage is back off cooldown. Mech is almost there. 800 gold away. Ish. Speaking of which, the mech is going to be for Omni. I thought maybe the Naga might go for it, but not even sure if that's a real build anymore. But Naga's 1500, so perhaps he builds into Midas. Perhaps he really goes for that Radiance. We'll see. I think a lot of it depends on this fight. If there's a fight that breaks out and they win, they could easily go Radiance. And now you are jumping in the back line. Z-Freak will try to roll away. He'll make it out, but already that means Kyle's going to go down. Or at least he's forced to Grave TP. Poison Touch will come and he's just dead again. Another death for Kyle, which will give Ryoya a dominating spree. Good news for Chessie, or rather, excuse me, Limp, is he's pushing bottom. He has drums too. TP coming in, that will be from... No, it's canceled. Telekinesis on to Stanking, or rather just some sort of stun. They will take a tier 1 in this mid lane. They finally rotate the Naga bottom. Now up to 1,700 gold. And you really have to wonder, okay, what item do I buy? Do I go greedy? Good news for Complexity is Chessie now has Battle Fury. And this is where things kind of get out of control. For Slark, you're pretty good at flash farming, but Jug with a Battle Fury can do a lot of work here in this game. So we'll see what he turns into. And then the biggest item, like I talked about this at like 10 minutes in, maybe even earlier. What was that first big item coming out for Complexity? Or for VGJ.Storm for that matter? It's this mech for the Moo on the Tidehunter. That and Blink Dagger for Limp are the two big items where Complexity need to make something happen. Sentry will spot out Snaking, I believe. He's just on the edge of it right now. I think if he walks even a little bit further forward, he will get caught. But smart enough not to move too far in. Boulder Smash, Stanking, that's a free kill coming in. And again, the support's giving away their lives here, but making sure they don't lose any cores on either side. So, Echo Saber just about done, I believe. You should have it now. Yeah. So some big items coming out. The question is, how much can you get done if you're Complexity now? You have Battle Fury. You have Mech now up on Moo. You have Blink. So you have usually the initiation you would have on the Tidehunter. Now they have the Batrider to help out with that. So things are kind of dicey here. If you're VGJ.Storm, you got to be careful. Don't fight into something too crazy. Conversely, Complexity will also stay safe for now. There's no reason for them to get caught out while they're pushing a tier 1 tower. They could just go back into the jungle, farm the Jug up even more, and get back to it. Smoke will come out behind Ryoya, which I don't think there's a ward there, so I won't spot anything. UR is invis, but they have detection. There's a sentry right there. Kyle in trouble. Still silenced up. He's got the Shadow Dance ready. Purification coming in, plus the Repel, and you've got to leave if you're Z-Freaking Kyle. And both of them might actually be able to make it out. Meanwhile, Moo might get chased down. Static Link coming in. He'll go for the TP, and he's going to make it out. Ryoya doesn't have anyone to stop it, and Stanking is too far away with the telekinesis. So, really well done there from Complexity to avoid that initiation. The fact that they have all of these sentries down is really great. And Chessie, he's just getting so much space now. The tier 1's going to fall. Although UR's top, they need more help. TPing in is going to be the Naga, and Chessie might need to leave. Jump in. Already a lot of damage. Pounce will start it off. He's got the healing ward. They need the ensnare, and they're going to find it. But he's got the spin. He'll go for the TP. He should be able to make it out. No way to stop it. And now they're going to look for mid here on the other side. Laster coming in. The Repel comes out. Perfectly timed on Ryoya, and that's no damage being done at all. The unstable current hit on to Limp, and now they're going to back away for now. Ryoya even still has that Force Staff. So Lasso's down. They don't find anything in either of those attempted ganks. Stan King gets 75 gold. Nice. Easy. Plus a ward drop, too. Although, the sentry... Ooh, no, not quite close enough. Well, they're going to find out in about 40 seconds that this thing's blocked. That's good news. One would assume. Silver Edge for UR is the next item. Against, I suppose, the Tide. Makes a lot of sense. Kraken Shell. What else is there? I think it's just good damage in general. Just a nice item to have. Yeah, I mean, there's some passives worth breaking, but other than that, it's not really anything too spectacular. I think it's really just more for blowing up the Tide if you can. Force him to use his Ravage kind of in a defensive posture instead of having him be the one that gets to call the shots. If they can jump on him, that is. In the meantime, UR's looking for Limp. He does have drums. He also has a TP. He might be able to make it away. Yep. UR doesn't have enough damage yet, but it does force out the TP, and that will make Limp head home. So VGJ.Storm have a slight advantage, about 500, so it's pretty much nothing. Negligible is the word I would use. Most of the net worth is going on Chessie, but everybody else is kind of slowing down a little bit. And we have a pause. Somebody's got to use the bathroom, I'm sure. I did the same thing at Dota Pit. I think it was my first game I was casting, and we had this super long pause or something, and I just started writing on the map. I don't know if anybody saw it. Probably not. All right. It's a 20-minute game. So far, it's been pretty good. I've really enjoyed it. Oh, I forgot. They were talking about the mango in the beginning of the game. I meant to touch on this. I think Nikki messaged me. Because it's like the 10 heroes. So in custom lobbies, this shouldn't be a thing where like if you pick one of the 10 heroes, you get the mango. But there was like I think there were like 2 or 3 of the heroes where they got that mango. I think one of them was the Omni Knight, and they were supposed to eat the mango, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure if they did. But only weebs allowed? Yes. Weebs must come here and talk. You know what, guys? I'm about to talk about anime. You all ready? It's not going to be as painful as it sounds, I promise. Just kidding. I didn't actually talk about anime. You're welcome. That could have been bad for you, chat. I'm sure you would have been devastated. I'll just say, I have a friend watching, I think she's watching, and I was telling her about Monogatari. It's a good series. Let him know how good it is. Anyway, there's a couple of wards here, and an aggressive smoke from Complexity, and Moo. They've got the Ravage ready, and Snaking is going to get caught, stunned. They've got the Silence. Ravage will come out beautifully done. Omni to start off the fight as well. 2 down. It's about to be 3. Flea might need to use that. Oh, great Blade Fury from Chessie. Flea's going to get dropped. Chessie's going to get the double kill. Now they get off the grave. Kyle, he won't drop this time. Ryoya will be next. VGJ.Storm, they're about to lose almost all 5 heroes. Ryoya will drop. The only survivor is You Are, and thank God that he did. He has the most net worth in this game for VG.Storm. And that was a giant fight for Complexity to fight Snake King early in that engagement. Make sure he can't get off the GA, nor can he get off. That Purification or Repel is huge. And all of a sudden, Complexity, knowing that this Razor's down for 30 seconds, they'll move towards this Tier 3 tower. I don't know if they're going to stay too long, though. It's a bit dangerous now that their abilities are down. will try to chase. Moo's not really the target you want to go for, especially without that Silver Edge. So, VG Gaming J, Storm, Jesus Christ. I'll just call him Storm from now on. Storm will be able to at least hold on to their Tier 3 tower. Obviously, it's still very early, 22 minutes into the game, but a great fight. That's exactly when you want to use that Ravage. Moo is able to get it off. He uses the mech in the fight, too. He's working on a 4-staff now, which I would have assumed would have been his second item. And Snake King, realizing he's getting bursted down, goes for the item that's been kind of a leper in this patch. Nobody's really been buying it. Aeon Disc. Energy booster, vitality booster, and the recipe. It is very good in status resistance, which is one thing they need to consider. Making things like Ravage and the Stone Boulder coming out from the Z-Freak Earth Spirit not do as much. So it's mostly more for that, but also keeping yourself alive. It could be really good here on this hero. You're not really concerned about damage dealing either. This is probably the perfect hero, in fact. Other than maybe a Purification, you're not really concerned about it. So all of a sudden, the Tier 2 tower bottom is gone, and, well, they might get Kyle on the other side, so he will grave. Yawar takes a lot of damage, by the way. He's going to have to get purified. Silence comes in. Kyle's still dead. Ryoya will get the job done. Despite them being behind, they're doing some work, but now Limp is pushing into the bottom lane. They have to TP and try to defend this. In fact, he's going to move out, so he won't even get caught if anybody TPs. Tier 2 will drop. Limp's staying around mid. He's got plenty of vision. I think he's cutting a creep wave mid, too. I believe he literally ran mid and cut the creep wave just to make sure they didn't have any further follow-up. All right, so while they had that great fight, and you can see the net worth kind of dropping for Complexity, it all of a sudden is going to go right back up here. So the big issue now is Chessie is like 4K ahead of the Slark. The big issue for Storm, I should say. He now has full Manta, and he's working on a Maelstrom, and he's actually pretty close, too. And that's a lot of damage to deal with. The magic's going to be good for Chessie. Magical damage, as to say. Manta will get him out of some tough situations. And here we go. Vici, they're going to move in. Complexity are in the Roche pit. I don't know if they have any idea. Yuar's going to see Z-Freak. I think they're going to figure it out here in a moment. The break will come in from the Silver Edge, but the Rolling Boulder is out. Moo, Ravage is ready to go. You've got to be very careful. They're going to have the lasso, and Storm's going to lose Stand King first and foremost. And with him down, I don't know if you can contest this anymore. 35 seconds with him on the sideline. UR might be in trouble. Ravage will come in. Dark Pack's about to come out as well. The Omni Slash, the mech will come in, but the Omni's dead next as well. A double for Chessie, who's now unstoppable, and they will definitely secure Roche unless this Omni Knight is able to buy back and get in. This might go down pretty quickly. Chessie's on the jug, and he's already doing a lot of damage as it is. With Gush added into the mix, it might be even worse for them. I don't know if you can really contest this if you're Storm. UR will try for the tier 2 trade. He will be successful in that. Roche, at this point, it's too little too late. It's already dead. Even if Snaking were to buy back now, they wouldn't be there in time in order to contest it. So, Complexity will grab the Aegis. First Roche of the game at 24 minutes in, and they will continue to increase their lead, at least on the jug. I mean, there are some good stuff. There's some good stuff going for Storm. They have a Radiance now on Flea. So that age-old question that I had earlier on in the game now turns into, okay, if we could survive for the next, like, 20 minutes or so, we have another late-game carry that we can rely on. That's the big news there. Omni Slash stolen for the Rubik, which is, it's not bad. In fact, they might be able to get Chessie's Aegis if they can find some sort of initiation. But again, that is what you're lacking for VG.Storm. I don't want to harp on it too much because we talked about it in the first game, but the team that won was the team that had double initiation, Stomp and Slithering Crush. We'll see. This game might be Ravage and Rolling Boulder plus Lasso. Who knows? Not to say there is no initiation for Storm, but things need to go pretty well for them. And while UR was doing really well in the early game, this is what we were talking about with the Battle Fury from the Drug, right? Obviously, it's a lot more than that, but... So, good news for Flea with Radiance, the Illusions. He's already farming. It helps keep the waves pushed out. Moo bottom lane. This is not an easy kill. They're already moving in, but he's backed up. They haven't seen him. UR will try to find him, though. Ooh, Moo might get caught, but... The break will come in. He does have a TP scroll. Dark Pack coming out. He has mech. Anchor Smash coming in. There's the lasso. It was a bait the entire time. Dark Pact is available. He has the Shadow Dance. He will use it. Moo in trouble. Does he have Ravage? Can't get it off in time. And Kyle might be next. UR just going to work. 18 stacks. The Dark Pact UR can't get there in time, but the Omni Slash was stolen by Stanking. It's 2 down. Can they get any more? Firefly away from Limp. He used the drum defensively to try to get his team away. And yes, they will keep the Dazzle alive, but they still lose 2. They'll lose the tier 1 tower bottom, and all of a sudden, VG.Storm, they're back in this game. Back and forth we go. Plenty of action happening across the map. However, Fleet coming in, Radiance Burn. He's alone. They need to be careful. Now Greaves available, which is a really big item for this Tidehunter. Keep himself alive, get dispelled. Can they take the tier 2 tower? Ravage is up, 10 seconds. Pounce coming in on the other side. There's the Blade Fury. That's forced out by UR. I don't know how long they stay. I think they need to leave now as the TP's coming in from Limp. The Lasso might come in from Limp. It's actually on cooldown for 20 seconds. I think he used it in the last fight. Spell was stolen. Blade Fury it is. And the Naga Illusions continue to pressure across the map. Oh, I didn't think he was going to die there, but he did. Oh, and they got the Eul Scepter. This is huge. He's got Shadow Dance. He needs to be careful. They need detection. They've got, I believe, some vision. No, they weren't there in time. And Flea might not even need it to Song, but he's going to go ahead and use it. Are they going to try to fight this? They will. Moo is not even here. He's top lane. They know this. They're going to try to take this fight. Chessie's got a Blade Fury. Kyle will grab for now, but Chessie trying to TP away. No, it's just the Aegis gone. Z-Freak gets a 2-man Boulder Smash here, but he's in trouble. And Moo's coming back in. He's got Ravage. He's got Force Staff. He's got to use it here. He will slide in with the Ravage. Hits onto 3, I believe. A lot of damage being done. GA comes out as the Omni flies through. There's the Lasso coming in. The Guardian Greaves healing everybody back up. And Ryoya in trouble. Stealing 157 damage. Now purified up. 2 dead on this dire side. Chessie still getting ticked down. He's got the Blade Fury now done. The Gush on UR who will Dark Pact it off almost immediately. But Chessie's able to get away in time. Moo will get chased. He'll fall. A double kill for Flea on this Naga Siren. The Radiance Burn starting to do some work. 3 down for Complexity and VG.Storm. They will not be denied in that fight. A perfect understanding of the situation, knowing that the Tidehunter was in the top lane. And now Flea, he's hasted up. Chessie, he does have the Blade Fury, but he needs to be careful. Here comes UR. Chessie's in trouble. Good Blade Fury, but the ensnare is there. He might fall. He has no Manta. He has nothing to do to help himself, and he's going to go down. A monster kill spree for UR. They even get so much more after that huge fight down bottom lane. And VGJ, they are 1 game up as it is. They now have the Eye of the Storm Aghanim Scepter for Ryoya. And with no jug for 56 seconds, they're going to be the ones knocking on the door of this Tier 3 tower. The Boulder Smash will stop them for a moment. Limp will jump in with the Firefly to try to clear out this creep wave, but another one comes shortly thereafter. Poison Touch was stolen by Stan King. The mech will come out from the Omni Knight, still working on his Aeon Disc. UR will get gushed, also needs to Shadow Blade away. 38 seconds without the Juggernaut. Top is getting pushed in the meantime, so Complexity will have to move there and defend it eventually. But for now, you are Shadow Bladed. Moo might get broken. He is going to use the Grief, so he's fine for now, but still taking a lot of damage. Good Grave from Kyle, but he needs to make it out. And the Radiance Burn might burn him away. He will survive. He has to go heal, but that means this Tier 3 is gone. And Complexity, they're looking down the barrel of losing a set of racks and perhaps this series and going down to the lower bracket. They're doing whatever they can for now. But Complexity, that is it. Without Ravage, they cannot fight. 30 seconds, and now the Shrines will be taken down in short order for Ryoya and the rest of VGJ.Storm. And all it took was one fight for Storm just to secure whatever advantage they needed. And now it's 11K. They have the Aeon Disc for Omni Knight. Eon Disc. Ion Disc. No, that's not it. Couple of big items. Stan King picking up a Blink Dagger. We already talked about this Aghanim Scepter for Ryoya. You are now working on a Scotty, and he's got the majority of it done. In fact, he just picked it up right now. Level 19. Sitting still in second place behind that of the Jug. Chessie has done a great job, but Complexity somehow have not found the fights in order to be able to take this game. Radiant Scan won't be successful, however, they will see Chessie. In fact, Kyle is going to be the one to be pounced. He's going to be able to grave himself in time. The Guardian Greaves will also keep him alive. They should have Ravage available. Now the last are coming in. And there's the song. Great counter initiation. Flee gets it off just in time. They static link the rest of the damage. Yor will take down the Dazzle and all four of these heroes. Ravage was stolen. Beautifully done. The Rubik comes in. Stan King, the perfect steal. And the perfect game ender for VGJ.Storm. GG is called. There it is. Well played coming in. Both games 1 and 2 absolutely beautiful. Great draft, great play. A bit of a rough early game perhaps from VGJ.Storm in both of these games, but when it comes down to it, their team fighting, very crisp. They got that Radiance on the Naga, and all of a sudden things got a little bit easier. Not to mention they were just really farmed in that Slark. So, Storm, absolutely fantastic victory. But our big series is coming up next.